Welcome to KHTV.
Thank
And
you
our
so
guest is our own in KHTV,
Yes.
Dr. Judi Mora, who's running to be the next women rep of Nyamira. Welcome, Dr. Judi.
Thank you so much.
So, what really motivated you to go run to be a women rep in Nyamira? And what are some of the leadership skills are you going to transfer to Nyamira?
Yeah. So, I grew up in a very small village,
What's the name of the village?
Bumwagamo.
Mm.
Then I went to Itibo Primary before I went to Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah, so, we have Ntana High School, very close to
Your home.
my home.
Okay.
Yeah, so I tell you what, we went through so much hardship in terms of, just trying to figure out, how we get through. And, I have brothers. We kind of struggled a lot because, so my mom comes from, like, so far. So we went back and forth.
Okay.
Because, there was a lot of rift. Yeah, so between the two of them. My mom got married at a very, young age. My dad married my mom when she was in high school.
Okay.
And he was a teacher. Fast forward, tell you, so, so I ended up, in Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah. So, to your question, I grew up in that small village.
Oh.
I sold the biggest avocados.
In the village or in Nairobi?
In the village.
Okay.
In Ntana village. Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, the best avocados. Yeah.
Oh, you used to grow sell avocados at Intana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, and, I mean, it's a very long, revolving story, but here I am.
So you moved to Nairobi. Why did you move to Nairobi?
So we moved to Nairobi because of our opportunities, and my dad was he worked for KRA, and
Well, for what?
for Kenya Revenue.
Oh, Kenya Revenue. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and he owned matatus in Nairobi, and so he wanted us to move to Nairobi and have a better life. So I moved to Nairobi, and they tried to take me to a boarding school, but I was too young, so I went to Westlands Primary School.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's the primary school part.
Okay.
And of course the struggle. But one thing I want you to remember from this is, you know what? So I went to the markets. Okay. My mom came from this family where she would take me along.
So your mom used to go to the market to sell things, and you would follow.
So she would take me along, and I remember I had this purple dress. So she used to, just I was like her.
Okay.
One of those.
The courier, kind of. Okay.
Yeah, and I'd push her along, and then I would sell I sold bananas too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did you go from Westland Primary?
So from Westlands Primary, I went to Loreto.
Loreto. Which Loreto? There's
Loreto.
Loreto Matunda, Loreto. There are so many Loretos.
I went to Loreto, Musongari.
Musongari.
Yeah.
Is it Musongari or Musongari?
Musongari.
Oh, the one in Nairobi. Okay.
Yeah. So, but let's go back because I have a story to show you about. Yeah.
Okay.
Just my dad and just the growing up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Here, I have 3 brothers. Okay, so you know, one of my brothers went to Bobembe in Nyamira.
Okay.
Yeah, and then another brother he was with me in Westlands Primary.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you know, it's been our journey.
Good. We will do your brothers the other day. So from Loreto, where did you go?
From Loreto, then I decided, hey, you know, after the whole saga. So my dad died when I was really young.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
How old were you?
So I was 13.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he didn't see you go to secondary?
No, you know, not so much. So he died at Aga Khan, and you know, from meningitis. So he had my dad was, you know, this man. So it's crazy.
Yeah, but so after your dad died, you went to secondary. So after secondary, where did you go?
So after secondary, then, you know, kind of had to figure out, you know, I really wanted to do media, but then I, you know, had to figure out, like, okay, you know, opportunities presented themselves, then I'm here.
So you came to the U.S.?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about your life in the U.S., what you have done, how you ended up becoming a Dr. Judi.
You know what? I mean, it was a struggle. I was a nursing assistant, and I respect nursing assistants. So a nursing assistant just, you know, helps patients and, you know, make sure, you know, they don't, you know, they're taken care of. In terms of, like, you know, food, I used to feed them, and so that was my job when I, you know, went through school. So
that's when you were still in school and you were working as an aide.
And I was working as an aide. Yeah, so I you know what, you are Americanized. So as an aide,
And then.
Yeah, and then I decided after school, I decided, you know what, I needed to go on. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just keep going. I love education so much. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go forth and pursue education and, you know, teach. I love pharmacology. I love medications. I love making people feel better. So so I decided to go into teaching. So I went forth and
so you didn't go to nursing school or what?
I went to nursing school.
So you
finished nursing school. And then I decided to, so there's parts and pieces of it. So there's like an AD or an associate degree, then there's a bachelor's degree, and then there's a master's degree, and then there's a postmaster's degree, and there's a certification, and then of course there's the PhD or, you know, DNP in terms of...
Or DNP, Doctor of Nursing Practice.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Quite a journey.
Quite a journey.
So how was it? What experience can you share being an international student and going to school in a foreign land? What can you take as an experience you can share?
So my experience has always been, you know, the language, because, you know, there's that... Nobody, you know, they're like, how can you come from Kenya and teach in an institution here? And, you know, even with the patients, like, how can you come from Kenya and you're going to actually be a provider or tell us what medications to take? And I always said, you know what, here, in America, there's always protocol, and I love the fact that, you know what, for me, humility has been a big part of my life. Yeah, because so, you know, going through those stages, I mean, it's not like, you know, I had kids, I had challenges, and I was working through all that.
Oh.
I didn't really have a lot of family support because, you know, my brothers are in Kenya.
So you were alone?
So I was alone. Like, you know, I just, yeah. So trying to, like, you know, raise kids and just go to school, it can be very challenging. And, yeah.
So how do you see this life you grew up? How is it going to transform? How has it transformed you to be a leader you anticipated to come in Nyamira?
Yeah. You know, resilience. Because I remember, you know, the avocados had to sell.
Okay.
You know, the avocados had to sell regardless. And then, you know, when my dad died, regardless of the fact that, you know, he was a rich man, he owned matatus in Nairobi. So I went to, like, you know, very prestigious schools. But America is an equalizer.
Okay.
So I came here and I had to, you know, just think about things differently.
Good. Yeah. So how are you prepared to lead Nyamira'S, a women rep?
You know, for me, I used to walk from home, you know, to Nyamira, to take the bus. You know, we had one bus, Nyamira'S first.
If you miss it, you have to go the following day.
If you miss it, you know what? Things are not good. And then we had, you know, so for me, I mean, I want to be able to, like, provide options. And I don't want people to think that, you know what, it's easy. It's not easy here either. So you've got to be prepared.
Yeah, we wish you the best of luck as you go to Nyamira. And we hope with the leadership we have seen you display here, you will be very valuable to the people of Nyamira. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
And just know that KJTV will miss you during your shows. You have been wonderful. But I hope you will be more useful to Nyamira than here.
Thank you so much. And you know what? I want everybody to know that, you know what, it's not easy, because people think people from diaspora have it easy. No, we don't. You know, it's